let's go ahead and take a look at the Sager NP9870S and see what we've got for the system specs on it. Now this one is going to be a little bit different just because it is a customized model. This is one that is made specifically for a customer here and ready to ship out. But for the base -S model that we have here, right now it comes with a 17.3-inch 1920 by 1080 full high definition resolution screen. And this is going to be an IPS screen that comes on it. And it also has G-Sync on it as well too. The processor on this computer is going to be a more powerful Intel i7 6700K desktop processor. And again, that's one that it's not a laptop processor, so it is going to be much more powerful and is also overclockable. Also, the default graphics card on this is going to be the NVIDIA GTX 980 graphics card. And that's not the 980M version, which is the mobile version, but this actually has the desktop 980 graphics card. So again, another more powerful option compared to what you'll find on most laptops. This also has the option to upgrade if you wanted to. You could go with 2 of the GTX 980Ms or 970Ms, the mobile graphics cards. The default hard drive options on this would be a 250 gigabyte solid state drive that comes, it's an M.2. And then there's also a 1 terabyte 7200 RPM drive that's in there as well. The M.2 slot could also be upgraded into a newer, faster PCIe M.2 as well for quicker read and write speeds and faster boot time, things like that. The 1 terabyte 7200 RPM drive could also be upgraded to a solid state. From there, it has 16 gigabytes of DDR4 2133 megahertz RAM, and you can go up to 64 gigabytes total if you need more than that. For the network on this, it has a Killer Double Shot Pro integrated Killer E2400 gigabit Ethernet LAN, and it also has a Bigfoot Killer N13, or it has a Bigfoot Killer N1535 wireless AC card that also has Bluetooth 4.0. Aside from that, it does actually have a removable battery pack, which is pretty uncommon for a lot of laptops these days. Most of them, it's just integrated into the bottom of the system anymore. It comes with no default operating system pre-installed, but on the customization page, if you would like to have either 10 Home, 10 Pro, or 7 Pro installed, you could pick that there, or you could actually order it without an operating system and install it yourself when you get it. It does have a full color-changing keyboard on it, and then it also has a 2 megapixel full high definition camera and microphone up at the top. So let's go ahead and take a look at the ports that come on the 9870S model here. And also you can get an idea of the custom paint job that we've done on it and get some of the detail as well too. The first thing you'll see up front when we're taking a look at it is that you've got a couple different speaker grills here up at the front, and you might be able to see that, but also that every little part of that has been painted and covered pretty well. Up on this corner right here, you do have the indicator lights just to show that it's charging and the power is on. Spin it around to the left side. And then right here, you've actually got 2 Ethernet ports on there. So you can set up multiple connections at once. You've got 3 USB 3.0. And then you've got your SPDIF, headphone jack, microphone jack, and then speakers right there as well. Coming around to the back side here. Right there, you've got your power cord where you plug in your AC adapter right there. You've got another USB 3.0, and this model actually has HDMI 2.0, not like a lot of other models where they come with 1.4. But it actually has the newer HDMI 2.0. So if you're hooking it up to a 4K TV, you can get higher frame, you can get higher refresh rate there. And then on the right side, you have your SD card reader, another USB 3.0. Right there in the middle, you have your USB 3.1 Type-C. Also, it's going to be a Thunderbolt 3 connection right there. And then you've got the 2 Mini DisplayPorts, and then the last one on the right there is going to be your Kensington lock. While we're taking a look at it, you can go ahead and see that you've got another speaker right there up at the front, underneath the monitor, underneath the display right there. And you've got your vents on the back as well, on the back corners where it's going to exhaust out all the hot air. That's been a look at the ports on the 9870, and also just to give you an idea of how detailed the paint job is if you go with that route. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 9870-S's keyboard and touchpad on there. And again, this one's going to be a little bit different because it is painted green, but we have gone ahead and painted over the trackpad right here. There's really no difference in sensitivity on that, and I can zoom out here in a little bit and show you that, but for the most part, it acts completely as you would just without a paint job on there. For the left and right click, you've got the two separated buttons right here, and then in the middle of it, you do have your fingerprint reader as well, which not a lot of models have that right there, but it's nice and easily placed to access it. For the keyboard, it does have the RGB color lighting on it, so you can go ahead and change it up with different colors. You can have it set up in 3 different zones, kind of how it is now. Go ahead and open up the FlexKey program. You can set it back to just one color, so in this one, we put it back to match the paint color of this model. And there's some different effects, like you can have it do like a wave back and forth, or kind of dance around with some different lighting effects there as well. Go ahead and just set it back to the original one right there. Overall, the keyboard is pretty sturdy. There's really no flex to it at all. I mean, it's any kind of shaking you might see there is basically going to be from the table that it's sitting on, but overall, really pretty good to type on. And then up top here, you do have your power button and a little extra lighting strips up there. And then you've got a couple of speakers back in the corner there as well too. All right, went ahead and then zoomed out there, so then that way you can see that the trackpad still works pretty well. Even though it's painted up, it doesn't affect any sensitivity at all. Also, we do have the FlexKey software up right now, so you can go ahead and take a look at some of the different effects. Some of it's just as simple as hitting one of the different tabs right there, or going through and just telling it what area you want to have it customized to change to a different color. Also on there, you can set up some macros as well too. So that way if you want to designate a key for any kind of features or gaming macros, that's also an option. And then you can get some statistics for typing as well on that. Went ahead and turned off the lights here, just so that we can get an idea of the viewing angles on the screen and just how good it's going to look. As I mentioned before, it is a 1920 by 1080 resolution, 17.3 inch screen. It's an IPS screen, so it should have pretty good color to it and good viewing angles. And it also has G-Sync, so that way when you're gaming, it's going to try to reduce any kind of screen tearing that you're going to have there. So we'll go ahead and we'll tilt the screen back here. Doesn't go back too far, but really no color difference there when you're looking at it. And you get a little bit over here once you're at like the very side of it there, but camera picks up a little bit differently than in person, but once you get off to the side, there is a little bit of washout, but overall pretty good viewing angles on it here. We'll go ahead and we'll just lean it forward as well too here. Again, not really that much of a change going back and forward with the laptop there on the lid. So there you go. There's an idea of what the screen is going to look like for different viewing angles on it. So the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and start up the computer and see how quickly it's going to boot up. Now, this is going to depend a little bit on what solid state drive or what hard drive configuration you have in there maybe. Basically, if you have one of the new PCIe SSDs, it is going to boot up quicker than the regular SATA 3 SSDs. But this will give us just an idea of how quickly this is going to load up here in just a minute. So there we're just looking a little bit over 24 seconds for this computer to start up from being completely off into booting into Windows. So the solid state drive in there is going to turn it on pretty quickly for the most part. All right, let's go ahead and start this computer up. and then get into the BIOS settings here. I'm going to do that by repeatedly pressing F2 while the computer's starting up. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got. On the main page here, you've got your system date and time, and then you've got your information on the drives that are in there. So on this specific model, we have 2 of the Samsung SSDs in the M.2 slots. And then we've got 2 HGST 1 terabyte 7200 RPM hard drives. And it gives you some of the system information, like it has the i7 6700K processor in there, and then your BIOS information and what graphics card is in there as well. On the advanced settings here, you've got advanced chipset control. So you got GPU performance scaling, FlexKey charge, SW guard extensions, DDI control, and then you do have some options for your Intel Thunderbolt as well. So you can enable that or disable that, or set a security level for it. And then you've got your IRST options in there as well, where you can create a RAID volume, and then go through and see some of the different information for the RAID stripes as well. Underneath that, you've got your SATA mode, so this one's going to be set up in RAID, or AHCI is the other option there. You can turn on or off the boot logo. Power on boot beep, you can turn that on or off, and then battery low beep alarm, turn that on or off as well. Security, you do have your secure boot mode, and then TPM configuration. And then under the boot options, then you've just got your different options that you can, which system boot order you want to go off of there. Then you've got your UEFI settings as well. And then from there, you can just save and exit. All right, so we have our 9870S sitting on its lid right now because we're going to take it apart and show what's on the inside. As normal, got the serial number blocked off there, but with this one being painted, again, you get really kind of an idea. I mean, the paint is in every one of those little spots there on the grill there, on the bottom there. Not blocking the airflow, still allowing everything to go through, as you'll see on the benchmarks. But again, just a really nice job on the paint on that by our painter here. But you'll go ahead and there's a couple little tabs on the bottom here. I've already taken it off, but you just go ahead and pop those up, and then from there you can lift the system open. Once you've got it open up, we can go ahead and take a look at the system here. Now, these right here, you don't really see them so much just because they're kind of covered up, but these are going to be your mechanical hard drives. So there's a couple of screws right here. You undo that, and then the drive just pulls out like that. You can put in your hard drive or solid state drive that you want in there, a 2.5-inch bay one, and then put it back in. Good to go. Right here, these are going to be your graphics cards. So these are going to be those MXM 980M graphics cards in SLI. Now with this one, you could just go with a single graphics card in there, or you could have the 2 of them. If you go with the 980 desktop, it's just going to take up this bay just because that one drive comes out a little bit longer and just extends into this one. So only an option for a single 980 on there. This right here is going to be a removable battery pack. You've got your subwoofer right here, 2 slots of RAM for your DDR4 RAM. So if you want to go up to 64 gigabytes, those ones are going to be the ones that are left open. And then you've got your CPU underneath this one right here, and then the cooling for the CPU, and then a fan for each of the GPUs. Even if you just get one graphics card, I believe it's still going to come with both of those fans on the inside of it there. What you don't see is that that's easily accessible from the bottom side here is going to be the other 2 sticks of RAM, the wireless card, and then your M.2 slots. Those are actually going to be underneath the keyboard where you need to pop the keyboard up, and then you'd have access to that from the other side there. But a good amount of the stuff is still, something you can get from just accessing the bottom panel on that. Thanks for watching this video on the Sager NP9870S model with custom upgrades and exterior finish on it. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to call us at 877-289-9684. You can always email us at sales@exoticpc.com or hop onto our live chat on our website. If you have any questions on customization or anything else we can do for you, just let us know.